Good evening, everyone. This is the Flagler Weather Update. Look at the weeks ahead weather, and this is presented by Flagler Weather Info, supported by Flagler County Assist. So, taking a look at a satellite image to start our broadcast, and you can see we've had a stalled front that's been just kind of hanging out. The front's kind of like up here, and this is all the moisture trapped to the south of the front. And this front has just been kind of wobbling around. It went south of us Friday, came back north Saturday. Just hung out and really dumped rain on those people trying to go to Rockville, and then it went back north, and it's been kind of hanging out to the north of us now. Now another front is on the way and it's going to scoot all this out of the way. So let's talk about that right now. So this is the way things are right now, front to the north, and then tomorrow is that stronger front slowly starts to make its way in here, but slows down a little bit, and a couple weak low pressure systems moving along it. So that's going to keep things unsettled at least as we start the week off here and get into Tuesday. That front finally slides through here, but still some unsettled weather with it, and another front on the way, and then that should slide through here and help clear things off for the latter part of the week. So let's take a look at the National Weather Service Jacksonville and see what their concerns are and what's going on in the next few days. So we could possibly see some dense fog late tonight and early Monday, and expecting daily thunderstorms through Monday. Could persist a little bit into Tuesday, but it looks like that Monday should be the last round of it. Some of those storms could be strong, and this was the severe risk areas, and the severe risk area will be staying with us as we go into Monday. But again, it just means that there's a really, anywhere in this dark green area is where there's a potential of a strong or severe storm. So it does not mean that every part of this green area is going to see severe weather. It just means that someplace in this dark green area, there'll probably be one or two strong or severe storms. That's what that means. Drought conditions continue, though we are not as bad as other parts of the state of Florida. So let's get right into things here. Let's take a look at precipitation chances first. And this is the rainfall chances for today. And of course, it measured up about 70%, 80% chance. We did see pretty much widespread showers and thunderstorms today. Tonight, those rain chances dwindled down to about 20%, meaning you still could get maybe the odd shower, but the sun is really, the daytime heating is what's driving this activity along with that front. So things will fade away overnight tonight, and that's where that fog could possibly form. Tomorrow, another decent chance, probably about a 50% chance of showers and storms. Again, one or two of those could potentially be a little strong in the afternoon, and those rain chances stay with us into Monday night. Into Tuesday, we still stay with pretty good rain chances as that front slowly slides to the south of us, but things stay unsettled. So a pretty good chance of showers, maybe some storms on Tuesday, and then things finally by Tuesday night begin to wind down to 30% chance. And then Wednesday, we're back in the rain chances again, about 40 to 50% chance. And this has changed since the last few forecasts that I've seen. And then finally Wednesday night, we dry out, and then guess what? Thursday, we have another chance, maybe just a very slight chance, about a 10 to 15% chance of a shower, possibly a thunderstorm. Things dry out. And as we go into Friday, things look to stay dry, and then dry into Saturday. If you're going to be going to touch your truck on Saturday morning down there at Town Center, if you see this, some of the folks in the green vests around the helicopters, those are some of our Flagler County Assist volunteers. So definitely go come down and check out all those vehicles and at least two aircraft. So let's talk about the winds and how gusty is it going to be, and we'll talk about potential for storms. So right now, looking through the week here, maybe Tuesday a little gusty on the backside of that front, gusty up to 25 miles an hour along the beaches. But as we go through the rest of the week, we're not really looking at any significant wind being with us. And let's see if I can get this to load. It does not want to load for me. So we'll take another look at the storm outlooks here in a little bit. But let's take a look at precipitation, how much rainfall we're going to be getting. Maybe up to 1.5 inches. This is what is average expected. There could be some locally heavier amounts. One of our spotters reported 2.25 inches from one of those thunderstorms we had earlier today. So some places will see heavier amounts of rain. Let's go ahead and talk about how warm it's going to get and all of that stuff. So right now we're looking at tonight, we're looking at lows generally in the 70s. We're on the warm side of that front. Almost feels like a summer evening out there, doesn't it? All that humidity. And then we're back up to near 90 tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we're back down into the 70s, maybe flirting with 69 inland. Nice. And then as we get into Tuesday, Temperatures not as hot, down, peaking in the lower 80s, maybe mid to upper 70s beaches as we get on the other side of that front. And then again falling into the 60s and 70s as we get into Wednesday morning. And then Wednesday, lower to mid 80s, countywide, pretty much cooler to beaches. Lows in the 60s to near 70 or so. Again, a little bit cooler as we go into the middle part of the week. But then Thursday, things warm up again. Another front is on the way. So looking at temperatures peaking right near 90 degrees. And then tomorrow night, Friday morning rather, Thursday night, Friday morning, down in the 60s behind that front. And then things, mid 80s. So that front's going to cool us down a little bit, but not significantly. So mid 80s on Friday, maybe 79 to 80 at the beaches. Saturday morning, lows in the 60s. And then back into the 80s on Saturday. Warm, but not too terribly hot out there. And then down to right near 70 degrees as we go into Sunday morning. And again, some of this long-range information can change because once you get further and further out in the forecast, things can adjust and tweak around a little bit. So heat index, do we have any real major heat index days? Looking at tomorrow, maybe approaching 100. But then once we get past that, maybe getting near 90 on Thursday. But no, the heat index isn't really going to be a major deal as we go into the rest of the week. Just maybe a little warm on Monday. So I just want to take a look at just one more thing. Whoops, sorry, radio's on. So looking at the severe storm risks for tomorrow. This is from the Storm Prediction Center. And right now we're looking at, let's see here, a marginal risk of severe storms anywhere in the southeast, including Flagler County. And the main concerns are going to be tornado risk. There's a 2% chance of catching the odd tornado somewhere along the East Coast from Florida up to South Carolina. There's a 5% chance of damaging wind gusts. That's gusts up to 50 to 60 miles per hour or a little better than that. And there is a 5% chance of getting large hail. So those are the three things that we'll be watching tomorrow as that next front comes through. So let's go further into the future now. How are things looking? So this takes us right into the middle part of May, May 20th. And right now we are looking at temperatures, about a 65% chance of temperatures above normal. So it's likely going to be warm. It does not mean that every single day will be warm. But in this time frame from May 16th to the 20th, expect temperatures to be running above normal. Precipitation outlook. If I can get that to go, about average precipitation is expected. Going further into the future, let's zoom in on our area once again. And this takes us from May 18th to May 24th. So now we're getting towards the end of May. And so we're looking at temperatures to be above normal across the entire area. That's the most likely scenario. Precipitation chances, maybe just a little bit above normal. Of course, we'll take that, with the wildfire danger and all that stuff going on. Matter of fact, let's talk about the fire danger right now. So the drought index numbers, now Flagler County has been between 400 and 449. That keeps us out of trouble. So, we're kind of like the odd one out here, but that's good because everybody else is a lot drier than us. And drought index is different than drought. So drought is like your long-term rainfall numbers. So you measure drought like in months and months and months and months. This represents the actual conditions of the soil. So you could have like an extreme drought and get 2 days of rain, but not enough rain, and still be in that drought, but that could moisten the soil up to decrease the wildfire danger. So we're not in too bad a shape right now, and considering this is usually, historically, some of our worst wildfires we've ever had in the county have happened in May. This is not too bad a shape for us. Does not mean we're fireproof, but the risk of a really large and destructive fire is pretty minimal at this point. We have 2 contained fires going on in the county at this point. So this first one up here, fully contained, and the last report was on the 18th there, but the Forestry Service has been checking it. It's 100% contained. That's called the Moore Ave fire. It's up there in Flagler Estates, or just south of really uninhabited part of the county there. This other one, a lot closer to Bunnell, and this one was about a little better than 2 acres. It's also 100% contained, and no concerns or threats with that. We do not have any other active fires going on in the county right now. All the active fires are out in Putnam County, and they still have the railroad fire, which was a massive wildfire. This is still going on, and right now it is about 95% contained, and 4,796 acres. It's not gotten any bigger. So, but some of the smoke we had from the other day was from a wildfire way out here. This one, and this fire, look at this. 22,000 acres, and it's 37% contained. So this is a massive wildfire. So that smoke we had the other day was blowing in from this one. This is a huge fire, and it's going to continue to burn until they get some substantial rain out there. So to wrap things up, so it looks like that the unsettled weather stays with us off and on at least into the middle part of the week, and then we start drying out some. Maybe another smidge of a chance of rain on Thursday, but then drying out into the weekend. The weekend looks really good. Little warm, like highs in the mid, maybe just on the side of the lower upper 80s there. Lows at night down 60s and 70s when we get towards the end of the week. But overall, conditions look to settle down by the end of this week, but will stay somewhat unsettled at the beginning of the week. No threats from the tropics. We'll be talking more about that in the weeks ahead. Everybody out there, have a great rest of the day. Have a great weekend. Now, if you are just joining us and you've missed the presentation, once I stop this, once I conclude, you will be able to rewind and rewatch this. I will also be putting up the link to our YouTube channel, as you can follow us on YouTube. We actually have a YouTube channel. I'll be putting that link up. Be sure to subscribe to that. And also, we have a TikTok channel. Just look for Flagler Weather Info on TikTok, and you'll be able to get this information there as well. Everybody out there, have a great rest of the week. And if there's no major changes, we'll be back this weekend. If there are some changes in the forecast, we'll be back about Wednesday. Everybody have a great week now.